We've reversed the top 8 from yesterday's race to set the grid for the sprint race here today, and the drivers are almost ready on the grid down below. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Hello everyone and welcome back guys to the sprint race here from the F2 weekend at the British Grand Prix. Obviously if you guys missed out on yesterday's feature race video, I would definitely recommend going back and checking that out. But heading though into the sprint race here today, nice dry conditions here from the British Grand Prix. Obviously there will be spoilers, so if you did miss out yesterday's video, like I said, go on, it's a good race to watch as well. But yeah, massive thank you for the continued support on the channel. At the time of recording this, we are just going to hopefully be finishing on Daytona 24, so if you want to go watch sort of the last half an hour or so, I will make sure to leave a link. If you head over to the community section on the channel, there will be a link to the car. At the time of recording this, we haven't obviously started the race yet, so for all I know, we could be upside down on fire somewhere as well, but hopefully we're doing alright as well. But yeah, back to this race though. Championship-wise at the moment, we are now 10 points ahead of Artem Markelov, our main championship rival, as we head into the sprint race here. Once again, it's looking like it's going to be another no-stop Grand Prix in this one here today. Schwartzman and Markelov just in front of us. Let's try and get a clean start. Don't get pit manoeuvred by Galale down in towards turn 1 as well here. And yeah, let's dive right into this then. Ready for the F2 sprint race here from Silverstone. Always a great race to watch. 5 red lights. And it is lights out, and away we go with, I think, we've only lost, oh god, I say that, we've lost a lot of spots. It hasn't been good. We're going to get swamped. Guan Yu Zhou on the inside. Galale's almost pit manoeuvred us again. How on earth do we keep finding ourselves near Sean down in towards the first corner? Big send up the inside of Guan Yu Zhou and Sean Galale, though, as we head through turn 2 and turn 3. So we have only lost like 3 places off the start, which is never particularly great, but by our standards, pretty respectable, I think, so far on F1 2020 there. As we head down the back straightaway, I think there's guys going 2-3 wide up the road there, as Markelov trying to make moves on Armstrong and Lundgaard there, as we've got Sean Galale again trying to have a bit of a look for something, as now obviously we've got to remember just how early we can get on the throttle in the dry conditions in comparison to yesterday's very wet feature race here in Silverstone. You know, you always expect changeable conditions from the British Grand Prix circuit there as we head through the old turn 1. Get a big run on Callum Ilott there, who's incredibly slow on the exit of the corner, and not often do you see moves around the outside there, but we pulled it off, and we're now ahead of the Virtuosi driver once more in this weekend's racing. As you can see, all our championship rivals, they're just in front of us. Guan Yu Zhou a little way behind, but still certainly in the picture as well. But yeah, as we head down the back straightaway in towards the final couple of corners of lap 1, I think it's Dan Ticktum who is now at the lead of the field there. Oh, how I'm sure he'd love to win ahead of his home crowd here in the British Grand Prix. Up the inside of another Brit, though, of Jack Aitken in towards the final couple of corners, and we are now back up into the top 9 of this race. Yeah, Ticktum leads at the end of lap 1. Next up then, Mazepin. I don't know if it's just where we're so used to the wet tyres from yesterday's race, but the hards do feel really good around this circuit as we try to get the power down out onto the hangar straight here on Nikita Mazepin. Can we try and get a good run on one of the many Russian drivers towards the front of this British Grand Prix? Up the inside we go. A very aggressive move there, the kind of thing you'd expect from Nikita, but we are now up into the points of this sprint race, back up to where we started in this one, as well as now Schwartzman and Markelov, now the 2 men in front of us. Oh, how I'd love to beat Markelov again and just slowly try and start building a bit of a gap to our championship rival. Just missing out on new fastest lap. Trying to apply more and more pressure to our teammate Robert Schwartzman at the moment, as we're just sat under the rear wing of our teammate here. Obviously, we don't want to do what the Prima boys did in the real life British Grand Prix and come together, but hopefully we can try and get past our teammate as we head through the old turn 1. I always seem to be quite confident through here. I've got a big run on Robert Schwartzman there. We're going to show the nose, but our teammate absolutely having none of that, and I could see that coming from a long way off. Just didn't quite get the run into the corner there. We'll try and go for a bit of an alternate line on the exit of the corner there. Give ourselves a big slingshot as we just about get under the rear wing of our teammate there. It's going to be a drag race down this hangar straightaway. We are still obviously having to run quite high aero as to the outside we go late on the brakes around the outside of our teammate. Luckily, we just about pull off the move and we're now up at a 7th behind our main title rival Markelov once more. Really now trying to apply the pressure to Artem Markelov as we head down in towards the final couple of corners there. Oh, he does give us the space on the outside, so we are going to go side by side through the final couple of turns. Can't quite get the power down though on the inside through the final corner, but we do hang him out to dry there, and Schwartzman is going to be able to follow us past there, so that's exactly what we needed as we head back down in towards turn 1 here. I'm going to P6 on lap 6 of this British Grand Prix, and Markelov just forced out a little bit wide there as he tried to hook up the run out of the final couple of corners there. Luckily we didn't end up with a Magnussen-Albon style crash, but now we've got a bit of a gap to the next car in front of us of Marcus Armstrong. Let's see if we can try and hunt him down and continue to move forward. As soon as I say that though, Schwartzman is applying a lot of pressure. We'll go a little bit defensive. Very much shades of the real life Grand Prix there down the back straight, but we do hold on. And we will, yes, still be in P6. On to lap 8 though, I think Tictum at the front of the field is very much starting to cause a little bit of a train. Late on here is Armstrong, tremendous traction at the first couple of corners there. How else he managed that? He's going to be able to apply some pressure to his teammate Lundgaard down in towards sector 2 there, and hopefully we can try and capitalise on this as well. A nice big lock-up from myself in towards the next couple of corners as, oh yeah, Armstrong a little bit slower there than I was expecting as we tried to get the power down on the exit there. But yeah, I think Tictum's just trying to keep everyone at arm's length at the moment. I certainly don't think he's trying to take any big risks in this race, try and build up a gap there as we head back down through the old turn 1. Going to get a little bit close to Armstrong. Might just... no, I don't think we've quite had the momentum again like we saw with Schwartzman. We'll show the nose, but very much not giving any room in towards the S's here as we head through Maggots and Beckett's. Can we get a good run on the exit there? Really try and utilise all the exit curve we possibly can. Now we can duck into the slipstream of Marcus Armstrong there. DRS activated, but we're just stuck in a DRS train at the moment as we head down the hangar straight and as close as we can get. Not able to find anything there. We do get a good run though off the exit in towards the final couple of corners there, but no, Armstrong, oh, very aggressively. I thought he was going to give us some room on the outside. Certainly doesn't that time round. We will somehow get the nose there, but Armstrong just about holds it around the outside. We almost run to the back of him, and we do hold on to P6. Oh, there we go. Out of nowhere, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix with just 2 to go here from Silverstone, so clearly these tyres have still got a lot of grip to give as we head through the first couple of corners. Armstrong a little bit offline there, very aggressive with the slamming of the door there, as I thought we had enough of the car alongside to warrant some room, but Armstrong clearly felt differently about that. Somehow hold on to it as we get on the grass through the first couple of turns there, so we are definitely now trying to apply some pressure to Marcus Armstrong once again, but a lap and a half to go. Are we going to find any opportunity to get round him and up into 5th? Oh, yellow flag's out as well. Who's that going slowly in towards the final stages of this British GP sprint race? I think, is it Guan Yu Zhou? One of the championship contenders? Oh no, I think it is. Jay Deruvala just behind him, who was looking very quick in the second half of this race there. Deruvala out of the British Grand Prix with just over a lap to go. One more lap to go then here from Silverstone. We've got more yellow flags out. Who now is struggling? Is that Dan Tictum from the race lead? Poor Dan Tictum is going to fall to the wayside, it seems, with an engine failure with just 1 lap to go in his home Grand Prix, and he'd done everything right up to this point. It has gifted Drugovich the lead. It has gifted us P5 in this Grand Prix there, but poor Dan Tictum, 2 cars out with just a lap to go here from Silverstone. Yeah, that must be absolutely heartbreaking for him. He's done everything right this race, but it just hasn't come together right at the end. That might have been why he wasn't pushing so much, trying to keep, perhaps they were aware there was an issue on the car there, but that also means, unless that car gets cleared away, We aren't going to be able to make moves out of the final couple of corners then. A common overtaking place, I'll be honest. But, you know, it might just come down to it as I'm really trying to apply some pressure to Armstrong as we head out on towards the old start-finish straight here. Can we get a bit closer to the young driver there as we try and just sit under the rear wing of Marcus here? We'll show the nose in towards the old turn 1. We'll try and get a good run off the exit of the corner there, and that's exactly what we've done. Able to carry a lot of momentum, but just not quite enough to get the nose alongside Marcus as we head down in towards the S's. Can we do what we've done a couple of times already in this race? Take a bit of an alternate line, really get on the power nice and early on the exit of the corner there. Yes, we can. Armstrong, though, squeezes us right up to the grass there. He's got tremendous traction down the hanger straight away. Once again, we might have to go for a bit of a send in towards the final few corners. There is going to be a lot of contact as Armstrong. I mean, absolutely none of it from myself, though. We might try and go for another send in towards the final couple of turns. This time around we hook it up. This time around we get late on the brakes. We do move ourselves up into P4 there as we head in towards the final couple of turns. Dragovic wins it in the end, but P4 at the end of the F2 sprint race.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
It wasn't always plain sailing today, but a very important win nonetheless. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
Although the Formula 2 cars are all the same spec, the winner just looked better out there. It would have been a combination of getting those tires up to running temperature faster and driving to the condition on track. They made it look easy out there today.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be MP Motorsport picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a good result for Mick Schumacher, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Felipe Drugovich. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from ART this time out, and they improved their position in the championship.
The official driver of the day also did a fantastic job. But I have to vote with my heart, and today I have to go in a different direction.
That's the end of today's race. Thank you for joining us, and I'm sure you'll agree it was a great race and sets us up nicely for the next installment in a few weeks' time. Take care. From Davide and I, it's goodbye.
There we are then, guys. The F2 sprint race has come to an end here from the British Grand Prix, and it was Primo's 1-2 yesterday, and MP Motorsport do the same here in the sprint race after Dan Ticktum's unfortunate demise right at the end there. But it is Dragovic who, yeah, it might look simple on paper, pole position, fastest lap and race victory, but yeah, those of you that watched this one know it was anything but for the young Brazilian there. What is it with Brazilians and just dominating these sprint races as well? Samaia, I know, has won a couple. I think that might be Dragovic's second, if I'm not mistaken, as well there. But Matsushita joins him at the top of the top of the race results there, even I should say, ahead of Christian Lundgaard there. We just get ahead of Armstrong for P4 there, so it could have been an MP Motorsport 1-2, an ART 3-4, and a Prima 5-6 when all was said and done there, but we do cause a bit of a shake-up in that order there. The three Russians of Schwartzman, Markelov, and Mazepin round out your top 8 and point scorers there, with Jack Aitken and Ilott just missing out for the Brits in the end there. Guan Yu Zhou in 11th, ahead of Pedro Piquet there, and you can see Galil, Sato, Nissani, Sonoda, Giotto, Delatraz, Alesi, and Samaia there. The sprint race GOAT last week, not quite proven up to his name this weekend there, but Ticktum and Aruvula rounding out, well, they do technically get classified at the end as well there. But championship-wise, though, the gap opens up 16 points now ahead of Artem Markelov. That is exactly what we need as we head in towards the final few races of the season there. Guan Yu Zhou now just 4 points ahead of our teammate Schwartzman. Oh, well, I'd love to see him get back into the thick of the title fight there. Armstrong, I'm going to dub him as best of the rest, kind of, even though he's just been very, very consistent all season long. They're now up into 5th there ahead of Drugovic and Matsushita there, with Mazepin dropping down to 8th ahead of Sonoda and Daruvula there, with Dan Ticktum still in 11th ahead of Giotto there, despite that unfortunate DNF there. Lundgaard up to P13 there, with Samaya still ahead of Ilott and Masato there, and you can see Jack Aitken, Pedro Piquet and Alesi still your last point scorers there, with just Nissany, Galeal and Delatraz still yet to get points on the board there. Teams-wise, though, yeah, you can see with that, obviously, 1-2 result there, MP Motorsport leapfrogged their way up into P2 of the Teams Championship there. A fair 17 points clear of Racelab in P3 there. Virtuosi still in 4th ahead of ART. Carlin and High-Tech tied on 112 in 6th and 7th there, with a big drop off to Campos and Dams, and then Trident and Charu rounding out the top 11 there. But yeah, in terms, though, of the weekend's results, I think, yeah, we were on top there, 33 points. Schwartzman on 26 as well. Things you love to see there with Matsushita and Drugovic. Markelov, Armstrong, Lundgaard, Ticktum, Mazepin, and Jack Aitken being the 10 guys to score points this weekend there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well to the channel. And yeah, we will be back next weekend ready for round 8 of the World Championship. Just 5 rounds to go while we head to the Hungarian Grand Prix. You guys do not want to miss it. A big thank you to our channel members for making these videos possible. You can be featured in these end clips as well as granted access to some other exclusive perks for just £1 a month by clicking the join button below.